Well, 680's Richard Southern joins us now. Richard, it is the federal government versus Canada's iconic coffee and donut chain. So you told us about this last night, and what's the very latest on this investigation into Tim Hortons?
Yeah, Ottawa looking into the company. I talked today to the office of Navdeep Bains, the Minister for Economic Development. They confirmed to me, Francis, that yes, they're looking into a possible breach of contract by the Brazilian-owned head office of Tim Hortons, Restaurant Brands International. They bought Tim Hortons 4 years ago. To do so, though, they had to adhere to certain guidelines. These are the guidelines that they don't pass on, they don't raise costs for the franchise owners. But the franchise owners say, yes, they have. Coffee, they say, is costing them 15% more. Bagels, 20% more. Bacon, 100% more. The owners of the stores also allege that Restaurant Brands has fired a lot of people at head office, leading to problems. They say the minimum wage is costing store owners as much as $300,000, and the head office not allowing them to raise prices. There's also a big worry about a big planned renovation by the head office, which will cost them a lot of money. Had a chance to talk to a professor of food strategy at the Dalhousie University today.
It's nickel and diming. That's RBI's approach. Right now it's hurting family businesses across the country. And so, of course, they are upset based on what we heard last month with this new design, the redesigning of stores, asking every restaurant owners to fork out $450,000. The message from RBI is quite clear. You either pay up or leave.
I want to show you the latest statement I have in from Tim Hortons. It reads, today we received notification from the Economic Development Canada Minister's Office that despite widespread rumors to the contrary, there is no investigation. Every year we have reported to the government on meeting our undertakings without complaint. We have always been and remain committed to doing good business in Canada. Francis, it's true there's no official government investigation, but there actually can't be one under this particular situation. But again, the Minister's Office looking into it. They've allocated people to do so. Tim Hortons stock today down 1.8%.
Okay. This was a story here in Toronto. The construction of a portion of the Crosstown LRT stopped because of allegations that some of the workers were smoking marijuana. So with legalization coming, what should employees know when it comes to actually maybe consuming pot on the job?
Yeah, probably shouldn't do it, of course, right? But what are the legal implications here with, again, some of the workers on the Crosstown allegedly getting caught doing that? What do we need to know? Howard Levitt is an employment lawyer.
The license to smoke marijuana legally is not a license to be intoxicated at work.
How does the company prove I'm intoxicated on marijuana?
It's tough. You have to catch them in the act.
Howard, if I show up at work and they suspect I'm high, can they ask me to take a drug test?
No, that's illegal in Canada, so they can't. So there's really no way the employer, as a likely matter, can ever prove it on a day-to-day basis.
I don't have to worry too much about this, do I?
As long as you don't do it publicly like these three people did, you don't have very much to worry about. Unless, of course, it's making you careless in the job and you cause an accident and the employer turns around and not only fires you but sues you for whatever damages you caused.
Francis, we had marijuana stocks moving higher on Bay Street today. Donald Trump said late in the day that he's going to respect the individual states as to whether or not they want to legalize the drug. That is big news because it's still illegal on a federal basis in the states.
This is going to be tough for companies, right? Because some employers don't mind if you go to lunch and maybe have a drink. But what is the level of impairment? And companies are going to have to face this now.
Exactly. The 3 martini lunch and maybe the 3 joint lunch coming up. Yeah.
So the head of a U.S. toy company has now made a formal bid to acquire the Toys R Us stores, not only in the U.S., but here in Canada.
Yeah, an 11th hour move to maybe save Toys R Us, Francis. It's the head of toy company MGA Entertainment. They make the Bratz dolls. They've submitted now an $890 million bid for both the U.S. and Canadian divisions. To do this, the CEO of the company is using some of his own funds. He also has a GoFundMe effort, crowdfunding effort, which has raised $200 million to date. The Canadian division in better shape. We're going to hear in the coming days exactly what the deal is with this. The creditors, of course, want to get the most money out of it that they can. So we'll see in the coming days what happens to Toys R Us.
Okay. We know gas has gone through the moon this week. Where is it going this weekend?
I hasten to say this is good news, but no change tonight, Francis. What do you think?
We can pay more than yesterday. Thank goodness. Okay.
Going to hold at $1.35.9 and $1.35.9, and I can tell you that's a price that's going to hold into next Tuesday. Price has gone up 6 cents this week alone, with the price of oil trading at its highest now in almost 4 months, Francis.
So Meghan Markle, we know she had a Toronto home here, and you know she's got to save up for the wedding, so she sold her home way over the asking price, though, wasn't it?
Yes, it went for over the asking price. That's a good thing to have on your listing. A royal lived here, right?
Right.
So this is it in the West End. Now, I have to say, she didn't actually own it. She was renting it for the 2 years that she was in the city. But the owners, they're cashing in, selling for $1.6 million, 400,000+ above the asking price. Nice little 3-bedroom home. Again, bucking the trend of the softer real estate market we're seeing because of Meghan Markle, who stayed there while she was shooting the Suits show, Francis.
Prince Harry was here. Is that the selling line?
He was here. He was in the house, apparently.
Right.
So there you go.
Okay, so the weekend is here. Time to catch up on some sleep. Researchers say in order to get a truly good sleep, I don't know, maybe not have kids, but they get up early in the morning.
So I hear.
That's our life. But, you know, okay, and I don't understand this. They say that you should try to get into the sack with a new high-tech sleep robot. Can you explain, please?
You sleep better when you're cuddling with someone, the researchers say. Well, you know, a robot doesn't cause, you don't have to buy the robot anything. You don't have to talk to the robot. You don't fight with the robot. This is the robot in question. It's called the Sonex. It's a robot that breathes. It moves when it's in bed with you. The chest, or it rises and falls rhythmically. It plays soothing sounds like a heartbeat. It can play a lullaby, nature sounds, can even play audiobooks or the latest business report from 680 News if you so want. It's going to sell for $549. It'll ship in October. It's the sleeping robot that you put in bed with you, Francis.
Yeah, the business report is too interesting to put people to sleep, Richard. Let's be honest.
Be up listening to that all night, Francis.
But I don't know if I can spoon with a robot.
Oh, you'll learn. It'll be, just take some getting used to, and it's all good.
Oh, boy. All right. Thank you, Richard. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Okay.